Hey everyone, Pete from Abstract Ocean. We're installing a center console wrap for the Highland or Model 3 refresh center console. So in the pack you're going to get some alcohol wipes, squeegee, and then your vinyl of choice. The one we're using for this install is Matrix Black. It's one of the thicker, more durable vinyls, along with carbon fiber, black carbon fiber, but we'll offer it in a range of different finishes. So, and the good news is, compared to the other center consoles, this one is the easiest by quite a stretch. So let's get started. First thing we're going to do is clean up the center console. Get the armrest out of the way. So we're just going to use the alcohol wipe just to sort of grab any dust, any residue. Even if your Model 3 is new, there's going to be stuff from the factory probably on there, so we just want to get that off. And then one thing to note is there's quite a lot of grease in the runner on the sides of the center console to help the doors, so that can get on top, so just try and watch out for that. Okay, so once we're clean and there's no obvious dust, you don't need to be too disciplined, especially if you're using Matrix Black or the carbon fiber vinyls, because they're thicker. If you're using one of the thinner ones like the satin black or matte black, then do be quite diligent in getting all of the dust off of the center console. Okay, so we're going to start at the back, and you'll see the orientation is fairly obvious, but you've got the big bit, little bit, sorry, medium bit, little bit, big bit. So we're going to start with this piece, which is the rear. So just gently pull it away, and then you want to kind of just hold it by both sides and just sort of float it over the top. And what we're looking for, maybe you can see it on camera, maybe you can't, there's a little notch at the back here, so that this sort of fold over piece is for the back here. It's not very much, it's just 2 millimeters. And we have a fold over on each side as well to kind of fully wrap the piece. So what you're looking for, and bearing in mind that Telsa's build tolerances aren't quite what they could be sometimes, so your experience might vary, but really you're just looking to center it. And once I get this in the right spot, I'm going to explain myself a bit better. But take your time. I know it's tedious to watch, but get it in the right spot really does help things. Okay, so what we're looking for here is essentially the vinyl will almost be touching the edges of the edge trim. Now again, this moves, it can vary by car, it pops off pretty easy as well, but that's kind of your general guide. And then on this leading edge, you don't want it overlapping at all. It needs to be completely flush with this edge, which it is. So I'm going to go ahead and just come down the middle, keep going. So because these are all flat pieces, it could not be easier. In terms of a 1 to 10 installation difficulty, this gets probably maybe a 3. So we're going to tuck the sides down now as well. You can help it, you can pull on this trim. If you pull too hard, it's going to unclip, don't worry, it clips right back on, so definitely not a problem. But you want to make sure that you've applied sufficient pressure. The thicker vinyls, as I say, the Matrix Black and carbon fiber in particular, don't conform quite as well as the thinner vinyls, obviously, because they're just a bit thicker. So really put some effort into these sides just to make sure, and even kind of going backwards and forwards like this just kind of adds a little heat through friction and just helps the vinyl conform. Just push that back on, come over this side. Okay, and then the very last step is just to roll this edge over the back here. Just gives you a nice clean finish. Okay, so that's the first piece done. Let's move on to this. The first of the sliders. It's the same thing. We're going to kind of, just grab it gently, just on the ends, on the edges, and just kind of float it. We're sort of looking to center it on the door. This piece is slightly smaller than that rear piece, so, but your guide of course is the handle here, so you just want it flush with that, really easy. I'm going to do the same thing. Bring that down. You need to make sure you squeegee the entire area, even if it looks like it doesn't need it. It's releasing air from the back. If you don't, then when it warms up inside, or in the summer, all of a sudden you're going to see some bubbles. Again, that's far more likely on the smoother vinyls than it is on these textured ones. So again, I'm just going to roll it over the edges, on the sides. Do the same over here. Now, I just picked up some grease. I don't know if you can see that on the squeegee, but we don't want that anywhere on the vinyl because it'll be a nightmare to clean off. So, like the true pro that I am, I'm going to clean it on my sock. At least it's not my jeans. Right, it's going to be my jeans a little bit as well. Don't want to have to do this video more than once. So yeah, so be careful. Maybe don't go quite as far down as I did just then, just to avoid any of that sort of grease trap that they have down there to help with the door mechanism. Okay, and then this is the last bit. So this door kind of goes back and tucks under. So it's a little bit of a tight mechanism, but what I'm going to do is just pull forward on it here, just to kind of lift it just a little bit. And then same thing, we're just going to roll this over. And this is probably the most, it's not complicated, but it's the most critical part of the installation, because what we want, once it's fully installed, is this door should move freely. So you see, it does there. And what that tells us is that this piece is in the right spot, there's no overlap here, and then this is properly tucked back here. If you don't, and the vinyl's catching, then it just means you have air or something else on this piece, and you just need to work it some more to get it so it's laying flat. If it's laying flat, there's no problems at all with the operation of that door. And finally, the large top door. Remember your orientation, because this is kind of a big square, but it's not quite a square, so be sure to make sure it's going on in the right direction. Once again, just kind of float it. Okay. Not good. A little bit too far on that side. Let's pop that back off. Try again. Sorry, but if I can take my time on a YouTube video, you can definitely take your time when it's just you. And it's worth it. Okay, that's better that time. Alright, grab the squeegee again. We're going to do this top bit last. Let's just tuck it in for now. Actually, we're going to go for it. So this top piece, kind of get it all squeegeed up to the area, and then just kind of push it home like that. That way you don't see any of the original material, of course. And then we're just going to come down the sides and same thing. Again, watching out for the grease and stuff that's maybe down there from the track runner for the doors. But just roll that over. I think I'm going to pick something up again then. And there you have it. So that, as I say, is Matrix Black. We'll flash up some photos now of all the other different color options. But as you can see, super easy to install. Took me about 10 minutes, maybe a bit less. Alright, Pete from Abstract Ocean, thanks for watching.